Let's cross live to Tel Aviv now, where former Israeli government spokesman Elon Levy joins us. And terrific to see you again, Elon, on such a good news day. And first, can you tell us what's happening this hour? Do you know if the deal is meant to be signed imminently?
There is immense relief in Israel that the nightmare that began 2 years ago when Hamas invaded Israel and snatched hostages from their beds from a music festival, that nightmare might be close to an end. Now, look, let's not get our hopes up. The deal now is not a peace deal. It doesn't even end the war. It's a ransom deal. It's a ransom deal that gets the hostages out in exchange for Israel releasing hundreds of convicted terrorists from its jails and redeploying inside Gaza. Today, the Israeli government is meeting. It has one item on its agenda, and that is approving the framework to get all the Israeli hostages out. Israel is hoping that that release could be as early as Sunday.
So can you tell us the time frame for this? So the Israeli government, the cabinet's meeting now. If they approve it, do they have representatives on standby in Egypt to sign the deal?
President Trump has said he expects that the release could happen by Monday. The negotiating team has been in Egypt. Those intense talks happened overnight. And as soon as the Israeli government approves the deal, then the ceasefire can come into effect and we can make preparations to receive those hostages who have been starved, who have been tortured, who have been abused in the dungeons under Gaza. But, you know, this is just phase one of the deal. It doesn't end the war that Hamas began completely. That's going to require President Trump's full plan, including the disarmament of Hamas, the demilitarization of Gaza, the de-radicalization of the population. But the genius of President Trump's plan, first, you get the hostages out immediately in one go, and then you negotiate the terms of the deal to end the war. It's the first proposal that tells Hamas, no, you don't get to keep the hostages as bargaining chips for better terms to end the war. You have to let them all out. And thank God the United States put some real pressure in these hostage talks.
No, exactly. And Trump is rightly getting credit for this today, as he should. But Elon, it also wouldn't have happened without Israel's strength, military strategy, taking out majority of Hamas, multiple leaders of Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and then, of course, the strikes on Qatar. What do you think?
Israel has been under immense international pressure for the last 2 years to just pay any ransom and leave Hamas on its feet, to take a partial deal that would get some of the hostages out and would let Hamas keep the rest of them as bargaining chips to survive the war that it started. But we're here now with a ransom deal to get the hostages out because Israel put unrelenting military pressure on Hamas, because it killed their entire leadership, because the remaining leaders were scared they were going to get obliterated if they continued fighting, and because of diplomatic pressure. Hamas is more isolated than it has ever been before, except for some of those lunatic left protesters on the streets of your city and the UK and New York. Hamas is isolated, and there's pressure on Hamas to say it's game over. This would not have happened if Israel had not pushed ahead with its military plan to dismantle Hamas's terrorist army so it cannot threaten another October 7th massacre and take more hostages in the future.